Welcome back, everyone, to another deep dive. Today, we're going to be tackling Plato's Symposium,
Ooh.
which, it's a text that's, it's all about love,
Okay.
but not necessarily the kind of love you might expect. You
Interesting.
might be listening to this to, prep for a class or brush up on your philosophy, or
Sure.
maybe just curious about what this ancient text has to say about love.
Right.
Well, buckle up because Plato takes us on quite a journey.
You're absolutely right. It's not your typical romance novel.
No, I wouldn't think so.
Instead, imagine
Yeah.
imagine a lively drinking party in ancient Athens,
Okay.
where each guest delivers a speech praising Eros, the god of love.
A party dedicated to love sounds more fun than my philosophy lectures, but I have a feeling there's a lot more to it than just celebrating, romance, right?
Definitely.
Yeah.
Plato uses this setting to explore all these different facets of love.
Okay.
Its power, its purpose, and even its potential to lead us to wisdom. And what's fascinating is that he wrote this dialogue after the Republic.
Okay.
So some of the ideas about love and virtue here
Yeah.
build on his earlier work.
Okay, so we've got this party, and all these guests are giving speeches about love.
Exactly.
Sounds like quite a lineup.
It is.
Who are some of these guests, and what kind of arguments are they making?
Well, we start with Phaedrus,
Okay.
who argues that love inspires courage and noble deeds.
Okay.
Then we have Pausanias,
Hmm?
who makes this distinction between
Mm-hmm.
base physical desire
Mm-hmm.
and a higher form of love, heavenly love,
Mm-hmm.
that leads to virtue.
Okay, so right off the bat, we're seeing that love isn't just about, fleeting attraction. It can be a powerful force for good.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And then we have Eryximachus, who takes a more,
Mm-hmm.
shall we say, scientific approach.
Okay.
He sees love as a force for harmony, not just between people,
Uh-huh.
but extending even to medicine and the cosmos.
Wow, so we're going from love as a, motivator for heroism to a cosmic principle. That's quite a range.
It is.
Yeah.
And then comes one of the most memorable speeches of the Symposium,
Okay.
the one by Aristophanes.
Okay, I've heard of this one.
He tells this wild myth about how humans were originally whole beings
Okay.
with 4 legs, 4 arms, and 2 faces.
Hold on. 4 legs and 2 faces. That's definitely not something you hear every day.
Right. And these powerful beings threaten the gods,
Mm-hmm.
so Zeus split them in 2,
Oh, wow.
leaving us forever searching for our other half.
Okay, now that's an image that's going to stick with me.
It is.
But this can't be just, a wacky creation myth. There's got to be a deeper meaning here, right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
It speaks to our deep-seated longing
Mm-hmm.
for connection and completeness.
Right.
Think about it. Think about your own relationships.
Yeah.
Do you ever feel like you're searching for that missing piece that makes you whole?
That's an interesting thought.
This myth could offer an explanation for why certain connections feel so profound.
I know, I've definitely felt that longing for connection in my own life.
And that's the power of Aristophanes' myth. It resonates with something deep within us.
Yeah.
It's this idea that we're not complete on our own.
Right.
That we need to find that other half to truly be whole.
So we've heard about love that inspires us to be better, love that brings harmony to the universe, and love as a search for our missing half.
Yeah.
Who else steps up to this philosophical podium?
Next, we have Agathon,
Okay.
the host of the party,
Mm.
and he focuses on love's aesthetic qualities.
Okay.
He praises love as the youngest and most beautiful god,
Okay.
emphasizing its elegance and refinement.
So we're getting a different angle here, focusing on the beauty of love itself.
Yes.
But of course, I'm waiting with bated breath to hear what Socrates has to say about all of this.
Yeah, Socrates.
Here we go.
He's the wild card here.
Yeah.
He starts by claiming that he doesn't know much about love,
Oh, sure.
but then recounts teachings from a mysterious priestess named Diotima.
This is where things start to get really interesting, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
And this is where we're introduced to a key concept of the Symposium, the ladder of love.
Okay, I'm intrigued. Tell me more about this ladder of love.
Well, Diotima describes love as a journey of ascent.
Okay.
It begins with being attracted to one beautiful body,
Okay.
then recognizing beauty in all bodies.
Right.
But then you start appreciating the beauty of minds and souls.
So it's not just about, finding the one.
No.
There's more to it than just romantic love.
Exactly.
Okay.
It's about expanding your understanding of beauty.
Mm-hmm.
Eventually, you move on to appreciating the beauty of laws and institutions.
Okay.
and finally the beauty of knowledge itself.
So it's a journey from the physical to the intellectual,
Right.
from individual people to abstract concepts. And love is the driving force behind this ascent.
Exactly. And for Plato, this journey is deeply connected to his theory of forms.
Right, his theory of forms.
Remember, he believed that the physical world is just a shadow of a higher realm, the
Yes.
perfect eternal forms.
Right, so the beauty we see in people and things
Yes.
is just a glimpse of the true,
Yes.
unchanging form of beauty.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And the ladder of love is about gradually moving away from those fleeting reflections and towards contemplating the form of beauty itself.
Whoa, that's pretty mind-blowing.
It is.
So we're not just talking about, like, finding a beautiful partner. We're talking about connecting with something eternal and unchanging through love.
You got it.
Yeah.
It's about this yearning for something more,
Right.
something beyond the physical world.
Yeah. Have you ever experienced that sense of awe and wonder when encountering beauty?
I think we all have.
A feeling that goes beyond the object itself.
Yeah, when you look at a breathtaking sunset,
Right.
hear a piece of music that moves you to tears, or read a poem that speaks to your soul, it's that sense of connection to something bigger than yourself.
It is.
That's the kind of beauty Plato is talking about.
That's a beautiful way to put it.
Yeah.
So we've gone from love as a motivator to love as a cosmic principle,
Right.
to love as a search for our other half, to love as a journey towards true beauty.
Right.
That's quite a lot to unpack, and I'm sure there's even more to come.
There is.
Yeah.
Remember, this is just the beginning of our deep dive into the Symposium.
Of course.
We've got a lot more ground to cover,
Yeah.
including exploring the role of the philosopher in all of this.
Right.
And of course, we can't forget about Alcibiades,
Oh, right.
the Athenian statesman
Oh,
who
right.
crashes the party and throws a bit of a wrench into the philosophical discussion.
Ooh, a party crasher. I'm ready for the drama.
Yes. Before we get to Alcibiades and his dramatic entrance,
Right.
I think it's important to highlight another key theme that emerges from the Symposium.
Okay.
This idea that love drives us to seek immortality.
Immortality. That's a pretty heavy concept to bring into a conversation about love.
Right.
How does that fit in with everything else we've been, discussing?
Well, Plato explores two main paths to immortality.
Okay.
The first is the biological one,
Oh.
having children.
Right.
It's the idea of passing on your genes, creating a part of yourself that will live on after you're gone.
That's a pretty straightforward concept.
Right.
But I have a feeling Plato doesn't stop there.
No.
That's what's the other path to immortality?
The second path is more abstract. It's the idea of achieving immortality through creation.
Okay.
We're talking about artists, writers, musicians,
Right.
anyone who creates something that outlasts their own lifespan. It could be a masterpiece,
Yeah.
a scientific discovery,
Right.
or even a philosophical idea that changes the way people think.
So it's about leaving a legacy behind.
Yeah.
Making a mark on the world
Yeah.
that will endure long after you're gone.
Precisely.
Okay.
And this idea is really powerful, I think.
Yeah.
It suggests that our desire for connection isn't limited to romantic love.
Right.
It's a fundamental human drive
Right.
to transcend our own mortality and leave something meaningful behind.
That makes me think about all the great, thinkers and vendors and artists throughout history. They dedicated their lives to creating something that would benefit humanity,
Right.
something that would contribute to the world long after they were gone.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And for Plato, the highest form of creation
Okay.
is the pursuit of wisdom and virtue.
Okay.
This is where the philosopher comes in. Socrates, in his love for wisdom, seeks a kind of immortality by contributing to the eternal realm of knowledge and truth.
So we're back to the ladder of love here.
Yes.
By ascending the ladder, by seeking beauty in its purest form, we're also striving for immortality through connection with something timeless and enduring.
You got it. And remember,
Yeah.
Plato believed that true beauty resides in the realm of the forms.
Right.
By contemplating these these eternal forms, we're participating in something that that transcends our own limited lifespans.
Okay, I'm starting to see how all of these pieces fit together.
Yes.
The ladder of love, the theory of forms, the philosopher's pursuit of wisdom.
Yes.
It's all connected to this yearning for something beyond ourselves, something
Yeah.
truly beautiful and everlasting.
It really is a remarkable tapestry of ideas.
It is.
Now, what about you? What are you passionate about creating in your life? What do you see as worthy of leaving behind as a legacy?
Wow, that's a big question.
It is.
I think we all grapple with that in some way, don't we?
I think so.
What kind of impact do we want to have on the world?
Yeah.
What will people remember us for?
Oh, yeah, yeah.
It's definitely something to ponder.
It is. And I think the symposium offers a valuable framework for thinking about those questions.
It does.
But before we get too lost in existential contemplation,
Okay.
I want to circle back to one of the more intriguing speeches we touched on earlier,
Okay.
Aristophanes' myth of the split humans.
Ah, yes. The image of those two-faced, four-legged creatures
Yes.
wandering the earth in search of their missing halves.
Right.
It's a bit strange, but it definitely sticks with you.
It does, and I
Yeah.
think it speaks to something very real,
Mm-hmm.
that longing for connection,
Right.
for someone who completes us.
Yeah.
Have you ever felt like you were searching for that missing piece of yourself?
I think we've all felt that at some point in our lives, haven't we? That yearning for someone who understands us completely.
Yes.
Who makes us feel whole.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And while we might not literally have been split in two by the gods,
Right.
there's something to be said for finding those relationships that make us feel more complete,
Right.
more like our true selves.
So Aristophanes' myth, while fantastical,
Yeah.
offers a psychological insight into the nature of desire and our yearning for connection.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And I find it interesting to consider this alongside the ladder of love.
Okay.
While Diotima suggests that we can transcend the love of individuals and ascend toward the love of beauty itself,
Right.
Aristophanes reminds us of the very human, very personal experience of longing for another person.
It seems like the symposium is presenting us with this tension
Yeah.
between the desire for individual connection and the pursuit of a more universal, transcendent kind of love.
That's a great observation.
Yeah,
And it's a tension that I think we still grapple with today.
I agree.
We all
Yeah.
crave intimacy and belonging.
Right.
But we also yearn for something larger than ourselves,
Yeah.
something that gives our lives meaning and purpose.
And maybe, as Plato suggests, both of those desires are ultimately driven by love in its various forms.
It's a fascinating idea, isn't it?
It is.
And it makes you wonder if our personal relationships can somehow serve as stepping stones
Okay.
on that ladder of love,
Yeah.
helping us to recognize beauty in all its forms and eventually connect with something even greater than ourselves.
So we've explored the ladder of love, the search for immortality, and the enduring power of Aristophanes' myth. But there's one more key theme we need to address:
Okay.
the connection between love and virtue.
Yes, this is crucial.
Yeah.
For Plato, love isn't just about pleasure
Right.
or personal fulfillment. It's a powerful force that can shape our character and lead us toward a more virtuous life.
I'm curious to hear how that plays out in the symposium.
Okay.
How did the different speakers connect love to morality and ethical behavior?
Well, we see hints of it throughout the dialogue. Phaedrus, for
yeah.
example,
Yeah.
talks about how love inspires courage and selflessness,
Okay.
especially in battle.
All right.
And Pausanias, remember,
Yeah.
distinguishes between common love, which is purely physical,
Right.
and heavenly love, which leads to moral and spiritual growth.
So it's not just any kind of love that permeates virtue. It's a specific type of love that's focused on something higher than mere physical gratification.
Exactly.
Okay.
And this idea is most fully developed in Socrates' speech
Okay.
through Diotimus' teachings.
Mm-hmm.
He suggests that as we ascend the ladder of love,
Right.
we become more attuned to beauty in all its forms,
Okay.
including the beauty of goodness and justice.
So the more we cultivate our appreciation for beauty, the
Yes.
more we're drawn towards what is ethically good and noble.
That's the idea.
Okay.
And this connection between beauty and virtue
Yeah.
is central to Plato's philosophy.
Right.
He believed that true beauty is inherently good,
Okay.
and that by pursuing beauty,
Yeah.
we're also pursuing a more virtuous life.
That makes me think about the saying, beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Yeah.
If we cultivate a sense of beauty that's rooted in wisdom and goodness, then perhaps we'll start to see the world and the people in it in a more compassionate and ethical light.
That's beautifully put.
Yeah.
It highlights the transformative power of love,
Mm-hmm.
not just in our personal relationships,
Right.
but in our understanding of the world and our place in it.
So the symposium suggests that love, when properly directed,
Yes.
can lead us towards a deeper appreciation of beauty, a yearning for immortality,
Yes.
and even a more virtuous life.
It's a powerful message.
It certainly is.
And it's a message that continues to resonate with us today, even centuries after Plato wrote these words.
Yeah.
But before we wrap up our deep dive into the symposium,
Go ahead.
I think it's important to acknowledge that this dialogue doesn't offer easy answers,
Right.
or a single definitive perspective on love.
Right. It's not like Plato gives us a step-by-step guide to love and relationships.
Exactly. It's more like a kaleidoscope of ideas, a series of thought-provoking explorations
Yeah.
that invite us to grapple with the complexities of human desire,
Right.
and the mysteries of the human heart.
And that open-endedness, that invitation to keep, questioning and exploring
Yes.
is perhaps what makes the symposium such an enduringly fascinating work.
It is.
It sparks our curiosity, challenges our assumptions, and leaves us with more questions than answers.
I completely agree. And for me, one of the most striking aspects of the symposium
Mm-hmm.
is how it challenges us to think about beauty,
Right.
not just as a superficial quality,
Yeah.
but as something profound,
Right, yeah.
something that connects us to truth, goodness, and even immortality.
It's a powerful reminder that true beauty lies not just in the appearance of things, but in the way we see the world, and in the values we embrace, and in the love we cultivate in our lives.
And that brings us to a final thought-provoking question for you, dear listener.
Okay, hit me with it.
The symposium suggests that true beauty resides not in the physical world, but within the soul.
Okay.
What do you think?
Yeah.
How might this idea influence the way we approach love and relationships in our own lives?
It really makes you question those fleeting crushes we all have.
Yeah.
That are based, purely on appearances.
It does.
Yeah.
If we connect this idea back to the bigger picture,
Right.
the symposium suggests that by cultivating a deeper understanding of beauty,
Okay.
like the kind that resides in the soul,
Right.
we can not only enrich our own personal relationships,
Yeah.
but contribute to a more
Right.
beautiful and virtuous world as a whole.
So it's not just about, finding our soulmate, or even reaching the top rung of that ladder of love.
Right.
It's about how we embody beauty and virtue in
Yeah.
our everyday interactions, how we
Yeah.
treat each other.
Yes.
And how we move through the world.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's what makes Plato's Symposium,
Mm-hmm.
a text written over 2,000 years ago,
Right.
feels so incredibly relevant today.
I agree.
It grapples with these timeless human questions about love, beauty,
Yeah.
and the very nature of our existence questions we're still wrestling with.
And he does it in such a captivating way.
He does.
Who knew that a philosophical dialogue set at a drinking party
Right.
could be so insightful and entertaining at the same time?
That's a testament to Plato's brilliance.
It is.
As both a writer and a thinker,
Mm-hmm.
he manages to weave together these profound philosophical insights
Right.
with myth, humor, and even a touch of drama
Right.
to create a truly unforgettable reading experience.
It's definitely been an unforgettable deep dive for me.
Yeah,
From the ladder of love to the search for our other half to the link between beauty and virtue.
yes.
We've uncovered so many layers of meaning in the symposium.
We have.
I have a feeling I'll be thinking about these ideas long after this conversation ends.
I think that's the beauty of engaging with great philosophical texts
Yeah,
like this one.
it is.
They provide us with a timeless perspective on the human condition and help us to understand ourselves and the world around us
Right.
in a richer,
Yeah.
more nuanced way.
And what stands out to me is how the symposium encourages us to see beauty,
Yes,
not as something superficial, but as something much deeper.
exactly.
Something that connects us to truth, goodness,
Right.
and even the possibility of immortality.
It's a powerful reminder that true beauty isn't just about what we see on the surface.
Right.
It's about how we see the world,
Right.
the values we hold dear,
Yeah.
and the love we nurture in our lives.
And on that note,
Yes,
I think it's time for us to wrap up this deep dive
I agree.
into Plato's Symposium.
Yes.
But I do hope that this conversation has sparked a curiosity in you, dear listener,
Yes.
to explore these ideas further, whether by revisiting the symposium itself or perhaps delving into other philosophical works that grapple with these timeless themes.
Absolutely.
And remember, this is just the beginning of the conversation.
It is.
We've only just scratched the surface of Plato's incredibly influential body of work.
Exactly. There's a whole world of ideas out there
Right.
waiting to be discovered.
So keep those curious minds engaged.
Yes.
And I'll see you back here soon for another deep dive into the world of knowledge and ideas.
Until then.
Until then, dear listener, keep seeking beauty in all its forms
Yes.
and never be afraid to climb that ladder of love.